Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state had a meeting with the Emir of Qatar. New airport taxi put into services. For the international scene, U.S. removes FARC from its blacklist. Welcome to our newsroom. President Ghele and the Emir of Qatar call for intensified strategic partnership and common interest of the two nations. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Ghele, and the Emir of State of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Ahmed Al Thani, in a summit audience. The high point of the 48 hours visit of the head of state of Djibouti to Doha since yesterday expressed their joint willingness to propel a new dynamic to the relations of exchange and solidarity between the two countries and the two brotherly peoples. During the talks which took place on Tuesday at the Royal Palace in Doha, the head of state and the Emir of Qatar issued the necessary instructions to achieve an efficient pace of implementation of strategic partnerships and extend it to all sectors of economic and social activities between the two countries and peoples. They also pronounced themselves in favor of strengthening the frameworks of interactions, consultation and dialogue between the two countries with a view to identifying new pole of mutually beneficial cooperation for the two states and the two populations. On this point, the instructions already given assign the head of diplomacy of Djibouti and Qatar to establish in their respective countries a multi-sectoral committee responsible for developing fruitful cooperation projects between the two nations, especially in the field of investment. The audience between President Ghele and Emir of Tamim bin Ahmed Al Thani also served as an opportunity to discuss several other issues of common interest to the two nations dealing with problems on the agenda both in the Arab world and internationally. At the end of these talks, the head of state invited the Emir of Qatar to pay an official visit to Djibouti. The Republic of Djibouti and the state of Qatar enjoy privileged relations, the fruit of long-standing ties woven by the thread of history, cultures, and a common subscriptions to a significant set of values. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the state of Qatar, Dayib Badroble, and the Director of the Arab Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mohammed Douale, are accompanying the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Ghele, on this visit to Doha, Qatar. In an interview on national television, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, spokesman for the government, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, said that this visit of His Excellency the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Ghele, came in response to the kind invitations of His Highness the Emir of State of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. During this visit, the President attended the opening sessions of the Arab Cup under the supervision of the International Federations of Football Association, and it was really splendid celebrations, and many Arab presidents attended these celebrations, recalled the Minister Mohammed Ali Yusuf. The Minister of Foreign Affairs noted that the Djibouti #1 was received this morning by the Emir of State of Qatar. During the meeting, issues of interest to the two brotherly countries were discussed, as well as the development of bilateral relations in the field of cooperation. First of all, the investment aspect between the two countries and the way to consult each other were considered. He stressed the head of Djibouti diplomacy, especially renewable energy, hotel business, tourism, and infrastructure. We know that the state of Qatar has the capacity to carry out this area with confidence, speaking about manpower. The minister said an important aspect that was also discussed and raised is the export of Djiboutian manpowers to the state of Qatar. This aspect exists, but the current number is estimated at 300 people, and we are looking to increase this number. The other important issue is education, as the Minister of National Education signed an agreement 2 or 3 months ago, and now we are looking to extend this cooperation to higher education. The Minister of Foreign Affairs International Cooperation said that the President of the Republic and the Emir of the State of Qatar during this fruitful meeting discussed bilateral cooperation between the two countries in the field of education. Under the high patronage of Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, the Union of the Taxi Owners, in the presence of their partnership, have inaugurated today the airport taxis, a first in Djibouti. For this innovative initiative, these airport taxis are part of a global revitalization of this sector of urban transport, according to the President of the Union of Taxi Owners, Mr. Musa Hussein Idris, who considered his wish to expand this program to all urban mobility in the city. These new Toyota Rush taxi are a number of 21 vehicles meeting the international standards of luxury and comfort of airport taxis. They are equipped with wireless internet connections and are intended for exclusive use at Djibouti International Airport. They were financed by the Partial Guarantee Fund in close collaboration with the Exim Bank and Customs. The commissioning of this new airport taxi should improve the quality of reception of visitors and foreign tourists, according to the Minister of Economy and Finance, recalling that this unprecedented innovative action is an initiative of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, to modernize urban transport, primarily airport taxis. It should be noted that in these noble actions, the airport taxi fleet has been rehabilitated. The general manager of Exim Bank explained in his speech the collaborative efforts made between the institutions concerned for the realization of this project. They are equipped with wireless internet connections and are intended for exclusive use at Djibouti International Airport. The mayor of the city of Djibouti, Fatuma Awali Osman, welcomed the commissioning of these taxis, which will undoubtedly contribute to the modernization of auxiliary services of the airport. I am very happy, she said, to have this meeting today because it is an important step which has been taken, including the modern floor transportation is also in the same center, and the company brought together for parliamentarians who were already cooperating at the airport. The Minister of Economy and Finance highlighted the government's effort to renovate urban transport systems. The quality of this new vehicle, which will also be very important to reduce the influence of influential aircraft when compared with the Blood, which was previous, and it can never be forgotten that public transportation in the capital city is a creative working participant and participating in the national economy. The Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdulkader Kamil Mohammed, welcomed this project, which will allow Djibouti's hospitality when it comes to foreign visitors and investors to be expressed loud and clear. He said, "I am very happy to preside the transport ceremony today at the attendance of the 21 taxis transport President Djiboutian government takes legal activity to modern and improve beautiful beings. This organization is a great contributor to the development and growth of the countries. This is an opportunity for the development of taxi vehicles in the capital city. Djiboutian Independent Box is supported by the Ministry of Finance after COVID-19 influence. Federal guarantee 49 general investment of 2 million Djibouti francs. As part of effort to promote peace and social cohesion, the municipality of Balbala organized this morning a ceremony of awarding certificate of merit as part of the promotion of the values of peace. The all of festivity of the complex Ar-Rahma in Balbala. The ceremony of awarding certificates of merit is part of the need to promote peace, the values of brotherhood and social coexistence. The ceremony was attended by the Minister of Interior Said Nuh Hassan, the Minister of Defense Hassan Omar Mohammed, the Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity Ulufa Ismail Abdo, the Mayor of Djibouti City Fatma Awali Osman, the General of the Armed Forces General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Director General of the National Police Colonel Abdullah Abdi Farah, the Vice President of UNFD Hasna Ahmed Bilil, the President of the Municipality of Balbala, and the Vice President of the Municipality of Balbala, members of Parliament, civil society. The ceremony ended with a series of certificates of merit for people who have worked to promote the values of peace in the commune of Balbala and family for. For her part, the Vice President of UNFD, Hasna Ahmed Bilil, has indicated for her part, she said, "I would like to congratulate your initiatives, especially the creation of a center to promote and cultivate peace." Another very important point added in the framework of the promotions and influence of our country is the issue of cleanliness and hygiene of our streets. I would like you to campaign us in this initiative to ensure the cleanliness of our city in these times of coronavirus. He added, the UNFD Vice President drew attention to the illegal occupations of encampment of land. We are making every effort to sensitize all people, and we ask for your support to do the same in your actions with the population. For his part, the Minister of Interior Said Nuh Hassan in his speech thanked all those who took part in the meeting. The holding of this meeting is truly symbolic in more than one respect. I am firmly convinced, he said, that the involvement of members of the government, traditional chief, especially civil society, working in close collaboration with the image of brotherhood, solidarity, union, and peace that has always characterized the Djiboutian people has been a success. I know that the Djiboutian people are a people of peace, that they have always put peace above all else. The Republic of Djibouti has always been a model of peace and cohesion thanks to our President, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, and an example for the countries of the sub-region. All of you who are here, your role has been more than decisive in the preservation of peace and social cohesion in our country. You have been, as the Minister said, ambassador of peace. The history of our country has given us proof of this, and we want to congratulate you for your fundamental role in maintaining peace and social cohesion in our population. I would like to congratulate your initiatives, particularly the creation of centers to promote and cultivate this peace. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahamoud, and his delegations are currently in Geneva. The Minister was welcomed on arrival at the Geneva airport by the Ambassador of Djibouti in Geneva, Her Excellency Khadra Ahmed Hassan. These important missions of exchange and capacity buildings, which will take place from 29 November to 3 December 2021, was organized at the initiative of the Director of the International Bureau of UNESCO in partnership with the Swiss federal authorities. It will be attended by the Minister of National Education, and Higher Education of Guinea-Bissau, His Excellency Sirio Jallo, and the Secretary General Mohammed Said Farah, and the Ministry of National Education and Civic Promotions of the Republic of Chad, their respective delegations. This study visit will allow the Minister to meet with the senior officials of Swiss Education and Training Structure, the Directorate for Cooperation, the heads of the Vocational Training Center, and the Teacher Training Institute. The aim of this mission is to create the opportunity to come and see what is being done in Switzerland in the field of education and training in order to be inspired by the Swiss excellences in education and training by adapting it to the context and needs of our country. Example of the whole world in Djibouti, the World AIDS Day of this 1st December 2021 was celebrated around a workshop held at the Peltier Hospital involving the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdille, the UN AIDS representative, Mr. Farahad Hassan Farah, UNDP representative, Ms. Emma Anno, UNICEF representative Melva Johnson, WHO representative Dr. René Hald Werven, International Organization for Migration representative Stephanie Davio, several medical reference and senior officials from the Health Department. This year, 2021, 3 teams have been selected, namely ending inequality, ending AIDS, and ending pandemics. The workshop allowed for the identification of various avenues of reflections around the theme selected for discussion and for the establishment of permanent resolutions to recurring problems in the management of HIV and AIDS, the mobilization of resources, the revitalization of preventive activities, as well as the reinforcement of practitioner capacity were at the heart of the recommendations made during this workshop. For his part, the UN AIDS representative, Mr. Farahad Hassan Farah, recalled the commitment of his organization alongside the Department of Health to work in the fight against HIV/AIDS pandemic, the mobilization of resources, the revitalization of preventive activities, as well as the reinforcement of practitioners' capacity were at the heart of the recommendations made during this workshop. For his part, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdille, expressed his strong encouragement to all actors in the fight against HIV/AIDS, urging them to persevere. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdille, urged all partners to become more involved in order to curb the spread of the virus through the country. The Secretary of State in charge of sports, Hassan Mohamed Kamil, received this morning's in audience the Cuban ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Marcelo Caballero Torres, in order to see a new framework of cooperation for the two countries. This meeting focused on the file of exchange between Djibouti and Cuba. The ambassador met with the number 1 of the department in accordance with the good relations between the two states. The presence of a Cuban in Djibouti was felt in the file of sport. As Marcelo Caballero said, for several years a fruitful cooperation has been woven between the two countries, especially on sports relations. The Cuban ambassadors say that Cuba contributes to the advancement of these disciplines. Under the auspices of the Central Bank, the National Sharia Committee organized yesterday at the Salam Tau Center for Training, Researches and Consultation a scientific symposium of Islamic finance between theory and practice and Djibouti as a model. The opening ceremony of this symposium was chaired by the chairman of the National Sharia Committee, Mr. Ibrahim Ibad Ibrahim, in the presence of his deputy, Sheikh Abdurrahman Shamsuddin, and the representative of Islamic banks in Djibouti, as well as many ulemas and the representative of civil society. This symposium was an important opportunity to shed light on the concepts of Islamic finance, as the presenter presented the research papers on the Islamic financial system between theory and practices, taking the Republic of Djibouti as a model. In a speech delivered at the opening ceremony, the chairman of the National Sharia Committee, Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, recalled that the financial institutions have experienced a remarkable increase in recent years in Djibouti thanks to the support and encouragement of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. He stressed that this development has also been achieved thanks to the recovery of the national economy and the positive investment climate that attracts foreign capital to the country. Within the framework of the celebration of the three-round editions of the National Week of Disability, the Director General of the Urban Rehabilitation and Social Housing Agency, Arulos, Mr. Abdurrahman Ali Ahmed, and the Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Disability, Douale Saeed Mahamoud, proceeded this Wednesday, December 1st, 2021, to the signature of a partnership agreement in the premises of the ANPH. The purpose of this partnership agreement is to set the general framework of partnership between Arulos and ANPH in terms of access to social housing and services, the social plots for people with disability in order to improve their living conditions. Thus, Arulos, in order to join this solidarity movement toward disabled people, has committed itself through the materializations of this convention to facilitate access to property for disabled people registered in the ANPH database, to tighten the financial threshold, and to adopt the principle of the third-party payment, particularly for parents with disability children, to enable them to access decent housing. In his speech, the Director General of ANPH, Douale Saeed Mahamoud, first thanked the General Directors of Arulos, Mr. Abdurrahman Ali Ahmed, for his highly commendable initiative for the disabled people. The Director, we thank you, he said, for this initiative to develop and find social housing that respects the standards of people with reduced mobility. This will undoubtedly enhance the life and joy of disabled people. Continuing his speech, Director Douale recalled that this signature is intended for people who already have financial income. The others, fortunately, have already been taken care of by the foundation of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, EOJ Foundation. Including his remarks, he indicated that the modalities and the acquisitions of this housing unit will be determined later by a decree. And finally, he reiterated his thanks and his recognition for the Director of Arulos Agency. The National Agency for State Information System, in close collaboration ANSI, with the collaboration with ANPH, held a workshop for the autonomization of people in needs in the field of digitization, sponsored by the Director of ANSI, Mr. Mustafa Muhammad Ismail, and that of ANPH, Douale Saeed Mahamoud. Indeed, the objective of this workshop is to present the many advantages of e-governance, such as the elimination of constraints related to the management of physical files that causes duplication, regular losses, and access to information, thus reducing the problems of information flow and intra-institutional communication. In this digital era, accessibility to new technology for people with special needs is one of the priorities of ANSI agenda. Indeed, as mentioned in his opening speeches, the Director of ANSI has chosen to take up the challenges of easy and inclusive access, in other words, technical assistance and trainings in a private sector. For his part, the Director General of ANSI, Mr. Mustafa Muhammad Ismail, said he was delighted with the efforts of the Director of National Agency for Disability and his staff and looks forward to a long and fruitful collaborations in order to offer smooth services to the beneficiaries. As part of the National Week of Disability, the King Fahd Sports Complex hosted yesterday a friendly match between a team of deaf people and elements of the Coast Guard. The game ended with a score of 3-1 in favor of the deaf in front of a crowd of spectators moved, solemn and enthusiastic. The event was attended by the Director of Sports, Mr. Abshir Ali Hassan, Said Ali Hussein, Director of the Institute, and Mr. Abdurrahman Abdullahi, Head of Sports at ANPH, and several other officials and members of the State Secretary of Sports. The open days of the National Pool this Monday to celebrate its first birthday. The National Swimming Pool organized an open day. It was an opportunity for many young people and old people, children, to discover the activities offered by the professionals in the field. The day started with a visit of a swimming pool, followed by various animations in the pools with the aqua bike sessions, presentation of stunts and discoveries of the activities of the swimming diving, aqua gym, and apnea clubs. The day saw the participation of the manager and of the swimming pool and president of the Federations of Underwater Diving, Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed, and that of the Federations of Swimming, Mr. Ali Adabo, as well as several members of their respective federations, and without forgetting the parents of the pupils. The young athlete Ayanle Abdillahi was back in the countries this morning after his brilliant victory gold medal in the Arab Championship in Tunisia. The athlete received a triumphant welcome at the airport, where many families, members, and friends were waiting for him impatiently, especially the delegation of the State Secretary of State in charge of sports and Djiboutian Athletics Federation. The young champion was delighted with his performance and the welcome he received. The words failed me at the moment to say how happy I am. This is a first for me. He said it is an honor for me, my family, and the whole country. The athlete reacted. For her part, the Secretary General of the State Secretary for Sports, Ms. Khadija Ibrahim Idris, praised the performance of young Ayali before recalling that the merits belonging to the Sports Studies School of Ali Sabih. Ayali is a pride for Djibouti. We encourage him to keep going forward, he said, encouraging other young Djiboutians to be inspired by the efforts of this champion. In the framework of the fight against all kinds of smuggling activity, the Dikil Gendarmerie Brigade has illustrated its efficiency and professionalism in these areas with a new first operation. Indeed, in the mornings of 29 November 2021, the gendarmes of the Dikil Brigade succeeded in dismantling a network of illicit resale of contraband fuel. Following the exploitations of concordant information, the investigators targeted an illegal resale point. A search of roadside shop revealed the product of illegal origin and intended for clandestine sale. 3625 liters jerry can of petrols and 25-liter jerry can of diesel and 200-liter barrels of diesel were discovered. These operations are part of the Djibouti Gendarmerie action plan to curb underground activities that damage the national economy. All those involved were brought to justice and imprisoned in Gabot prison. For the international scene, the U.S. has removed the FARC from its blacklist of foreign terrorist organizations. This allows U.S. officials to work with ex-rebels of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia who have entered the political life. The decision comes day after the Marxist rebels, the Colombian government celebrate the fifth anniversary of a peace agreement that ended 6 decades of violence in Colombia. The State Department is revoking the designated of FARC as a foreign terrorist organization. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a statement following the 2016 peace agreement with the Colombian government, the FARC was officially disbanded and disarmed. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.